Before we get started into this video, I just want to let you know that the game is currently on sale for a pretty heavy discount, and you can check that out through the link in the description. Hello Reformers, and welcome to a special feature of the new DLC for Starpoint Gemini Warlords. I've done a bunch of videos on this game in the past and its various DLCs, and I gotta say that it is just getting better and better. They are expanding the game space. They are adding new factions, adding new spaceships, adding all kinds of different new scenarios to partake in. And this DLC is no different. It is improving everything and making everything better. So let us, without further ado, actually take a look and see how many scenarios they actually have right now. I think I'm actually missing a DLC, but you can already see that there's huge amounts of different things to do in this game. And if you are any fan of being your own captain of a spaceship and choosing where you want to go and what you want to do, and frankly, this game actually reminds me quite a lot of Mount & Blade, because it's in space. Yeah, okay, that doesn't remind us at all about Mount & Blade or anything like that, but the core sort of gameplay loop is kind of similar. Not exactly the same, obviously, but well, this obviously looks a lot better than Mount & Blade, because, you know, it's just fantastic looking with all the stars and the suns. Yeah, they're the same thing, technically. But you know what I mean. There's all kinds of wonderful, wonderful things to experience, and it has the same kind of thing. You know, you manage an empire, you build ships, in other words, recruiting, you know, troops and units and things, and then you go into battles and all kinds of things at the drop of a hat. You don't actually go into the battle, there's no loading time or anything like that. You just come across enemies. It's pretty fantastic. Anyway, as you can see, these are all fantastic scenarios that give you different types of beginnings, but for this video we're going to be focusing on the rise of Numibia, which is the new DLC. The Queen of Numibia has returned, even though she was gone quite some time. Things have already changed since her arrival. She has reunited all the Namibia tribes and restored the kingdom to its former glory. And her next step is expansion through any means necessary. The Queen was born in a distant galaxy where her father went to wage war, and now that she's back after almost half a decade being gone, she wastes no time to bring her father's vision of Gemini closer. And it's up to you to follow her command and bring forth a new age of Namibia. Now you can see here what you start with. You start with a Corvette or a frigate, and you have a couple of medium resources. You got a huge amount of credits, 12 million. That's actually not that much in the grand scheme of things, but it is going to help us out in the sort of early stages. And we do have some improvements built, and the biggest factions are hostile towards us. Now, do bear in mind that this DLC also comes with an alternate scenario, and I think it's this one? Is it that one? Yes, there we go. Solari Concord has an unexpected challenger in Gemini. After many years of disarray and diminishing influence, a new queen has united Namibian tribes and returned them to path of expansion. You remember well how their government and people think themselves arrogant, aggressive, and always seeking dominance, but they were also very competent and tireless in reaching desired objectives. So basically, this is where you are playing as, well, you're playing as one of the other factions, the Solari. I would assume the Solari Concord, you're playing as them, as you do in, I think, was it the other, I think one other campaign you play as them, or maybe as two? I'm actually unsure about that. It's been a while. But anyway, point is, you can play as them and you can try to defeat the Numibians, or you can play as the Numibians. Now, considering they have, I think, added 7 new ships, we're going to be playing with the Numibians just so that we can see what the new ship designs are like. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to have enough money to be able to buy every single awesome new ship that there is, but we can take a look at the models and we can take a look at what kind of, you know, weapon loadouts they are capable of having. Now, of course, we can choose our portrait here. There's only 3 that we can choose from, but I'm going to choose this one. And we're just going to go with the standard name, standard surname, because I don't really mind too much about that. The classes are relatively similar. And you can play as a Marauder, a Vanguard, or a Sharpshooter. We're going to play as a Sharpshooter because, personally, I just love that class. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And I believe, because I've actually tried this out beforehand, I believe that the ship that we're going to be getting is going to specialize pretty heavily in railguns. So hopefully that's going to be pretty nice. Okay, so this is a Corvette, and it is a Namibia Corvette. Now, you can, if you so desire, I don't know why you would, but if you so desire, you can choose different ships. So you don't necessarily have to play as the Numibians, but I would highly recommend it. But, well, you don't have to if you don't want to. Anyway, this is a Corvette. I'm probably going to be playing with the Corvette and upgrading as soon as possible. And I think that is pretty good. I mean, there are a bunch of other ships here, so you can, of course, you know, decide at your own discretion, but I'm going to be going with this one. Alright, so this is a free roam, so do bear that in mind. This is a completely free roam scenario, so they just plop you down in the middle of, well, where are we? Yes, in the middle of Numibian space. Yes, that's where we are. And we have the full control over what we do. So I'm going to send a couple of our civilian fleets. If you don't know anything about Starpoint Gemini, and this is your first video, well, you might be a bit lost, but I'm going to attempt to, you know, explain things as best I can. But anyway, point is, you have civilian fleets. You can see here that I have a limit of 8. You can send them out to various places on the map. You don't have to do anything with them, but they have a chance of retrieving a couple of rewards. Now, obviously, this is the price for doing that. So you pay 200 credits, and you pay a little bit of gas, and you can send one fleet to go over here and investigate what's going on. And they can yield some pretty good results, so I'd highly recommend keeping on top of that. That is something that you definitely want to be doing when you are traveling around, because travel times in this game can be a little bit slow, dependent on if you're using T-drives. Now, T-drives are kind of the fast-forward, fast travel mechanic that Starpoint Gemini Warlords incorporates. And you can easily buy those. They're very easy to find. You can see them under equipment at the trader. And personally, I'm going to buy some, because I personally feel like they are just invaluable if you want to get somewhere really, really quickly. So there you go. That's 210 that I just, 210,000 that I just spent. Well, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, we can also then go over to our ship. And you can see here that this is what we currently have. We've got, you know, a decent amount of HP. It's not great, so we're going to try and get a little bit more. And our railguns are all right. You know, they're not absolutely fantastic or top of the line or anything at the moment. But as I say, it's at the moment, you know what I mean? I'm going to try and do my best to get those things upgraded as soon as possible. So there you go. I've just replaced our damage amplifier, which are items. You know, if you don't know again anything about this game, then you can get items and equipment that are consumables that you can use in combat and various other places like mining and, you know, gas extraction and all that sort of thing. So yes, anyway, the T-drive is, in my opinion, one of the most important things. Now, we do have skills and perks. I'm not going to be looking at that just yet because I think that's basically the same, I think. Yeah, it is basically the same. The class is the same as, you know, standard Starpoint Gemini Warlords, but, you know, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. I'm going to be going for railgun training here. I'm not going to do this right now because it's going to take too long for me to spend all these points, but I will show you the finished article after that is done. And you can see here that there's a wide variety of different selections you can make. Obviously, some of these are locked due to a level requirement. I believe you cannot get, yes, you can't get Negotiations 2, for example, because you need to be level 24 for that. But leveling up is, in my opinion, pretty easy in this game. So, you know, take from that what you will. Now, we do have shipbuilding, of course. I'm going to be building one of these. It is Berber's Sigma, and that is one of your companions as far as I'm aware. So we're going to be adding that to our queue. And I'm not going to be getting any of these. I actually don't have any spare command points. There's a very good reason for that, and that's because we have an absolutely overwhelming fleet that you will be seeing very, very soon. Anyway, as you can see right here, oh yeah, we have the ability to siege planets. Now, unfortunately, we can't really do that just yet. because you can see here, yes, when you want to build a house, you start with the foundation. The same rules apply here. You start with the basic structural framework and continue from there. Now, I currently apparently don't have the ability to get these things unlocked, but everything else is unlocked. So technically, I should be able to build one of these Proxima ships, which are just insane, massive siege drivers that are going to bombard planets. So if that sounds cool to you, then, well, yes, it is. Anyway, we're going to be researching the hyperspace torrent gate, because I actually haven't done that ever before, and I think it could be kind of fun to check it out. And what else do we have? Oh, yes, we should probably go to dry dock. Actually, no, not dry dock. We'll go to the shipyard and see some of the other designs. So, if you are wanting to be a small raider type, then downgrading to one of these, which is a gunship, is probably the way to go, but do bear in mind that it's very small and doesn't have a lot of firepower, so might not be in your best interest to do that. But you can see here that there's actually some really awesome designs. I would personally not go for this. I'd go for the Myrmidon. I think the Myrmidon looks much cooler, but yeah, that's just me. Anyway, there's a huge amount more here as well. There's a cruiser. Ooh, I've never played a cruiser before. That would be pretty fun. You can actually see the systems here as well, so you can see all of the different batteries and all the different weapon slots that you can, of course, get items for. And then you have this, the Bishop, which is a battleship, and you have a Dreadnought. And wow, there's actually some really, really awesome new ships. I think these are, is that new? That looks very, very alien to me. I don't think I've seen that before, which is crazy in itself. I think I've seen this one before, but I haven't seen this one, that's for sure. This is a carrier, and as you can see, it has huge amounts of systems there. So let me just go back in here. I'm actually going to be buying this destroyer, because I personally feel like that instead of a Corvette is probably going to be pretty good. I have 8 million credits still remaining. So what am I going to do with that, you ask? Well, I'm going to go over to the equipment screen, actually the systems. Yeah, am I going to go to the systems? Yeah, I guess I'll go to the systems, and I'm going to buy Severance 1. Now, Severance 1 is much less, I think it is much less damage. Yeah, it is much less damage than Severance 2, but we are going for railguns, as I said. We are going to spec into those railguns. So I'm going to buy... How many of these am I going to buy? Yes, we're not going to buy too many, thank you very much. Not 7. We'll buy 2 of them. Yeah, I guess we'll buy 2 of them, because we do need to outfit them to our ship as well, which is something that I do want to show you, just in case you are new to the game. Anyway, let's go over here. And you can see here that I currently have railguns that do 55 DPS. This does 289. So yeah, it is pretty crazy. And we're going to mount that to the front battery right there, as you can see. And then what you can do is you can configure the turret and increase the amount of turrets. And we're going to do that and buy the maximum. That is going to cost us quite a bit. So that's why I decided not to spend too much money on it. So yeah, we're just going to continue to get buying maximum on that. There's actually not that much money. It's actually only about 100,000, so it's not too bad. And then, of course, we have a mining beam right there, which I'm going to need to replace. So let me do that as well. And unfortunately, I don't know whether I really want to spend too much money on the configuration. I mean, like, do I want to get some more heavy weapons and just in general just go absolutely crazy? Maybe we do. Maybe we do. That would be pretty cool. You can also customize your ship however you so desire. So if you are, you know, wanting a creepy spider monster thing on your ship, then you can do that. But that's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. I'm getting out of here. I'm just gonna apply it and I'm gonna get out of here. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna spend my points, and I'll see you after that. Alright, so with the Sharpshooter, personally, I like to just go straight down the precision shot and just get it maxed out. As you can see, maximum rank has been reached with all of the skill points that I had upon starting this new game. And personally, I would say upgrading the gravity push is the next thing I'm going to be doing, and then, of course, unlocking Warhead at level 20. This is an absolutely insane ability that, well, you'll see it. You'll see it in action very, very soon. Otherwise, I've taken Destroyer Familiarity, which basically gives me a small passive bonus to increased light weapon battery energy recharge, and also increased fire rate. Then, of course, I went to Railgun training. Governing, I basically unlocked everything. And then I went for Merchant and Freelancer because we're going to be doing a couple of bounty missions. And then, of course, we have Space Wolf, which gives me base radiation and EMP resistance by 40%, and then I have Tactical Appraisal. I don't know how fantastic that is. I just tend to take it just because I like to have all the information possible. And then, of course, we have Tread Lightly, which means we gain some resistance to explosive mines, and we have Negotiations, which increases the chance to raid enemy structures and to capture enemy ships, even though I don't do that often. And I thought I'd actually just highlight this other perk here, which I actually really like the idea of. This perk is acquired automatically after 3 successful ship captures and 15 pillage points. Now, in my opinion, that is a fantastic way of doing things. So instead of having perk points and things, you just unlock that by playing the game, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, we are now done. We are now done here, so let us go to the jobs board. This is what I want to do. I want to do one of these. This is a fantastic mission to demonstrate some of the other facets of the game and to take our Numibia ship into battle for the first time. So let us zoom out the camera a little bit, and we're going to go... Oh, it's a bit close to the planet. I'm not a big fan of going to the planet, actually, because... generally, if you're going to be going close to a planet, you have the opportunity, well, no, maybe not the opportunity, but you have the potential to crash pretty badly and kill yourself. So that's not, it's not particularly good. I don't really want that to happen, thank you very much. Now, we do have a fleet right down here with a fleet power of almost 18,000. They have 2 dreadnoughts, 2 cruisers, 3 frigates, 2 corvettes, and 6 gunships. They are insanely powerful. So we're probably going to go and tell them to join us. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. Let me just slow down real quick. There we go. And let me just go over here and tell these guys to come and help us, because we're probably going to need them to do the thing that I actually want to do towards the end of the episode, which is to take this space station, or to wage war against one of the enemy factions surrounding us at the moment. So you can see right here, this is our current, shall we say, regions, and they are, as far as I'm aware, they are not aggressive to us. These ones are not aggressive to us, but they are governed by different people. So I do not have control over everything here, I only have control over the yellow space. So that's perfectly fine with me, because I think if I had much more control, it would be a little overwhelming to start with, but we're pretty good. We're pretty good right now. So I'm going to continually go to the waypoint now, and let's have a look and see where... Wait a minute, is this where I am? Yeah, this is technically where I'm supposed to... Wait a minute. That's where I'm supposed to be. Of course. Of course, great. I probably should have used my... I should have used my T drive to come over here. Oh, well. I don't suppose that's too big a deal, I guess. I mean, I do have a little ship over here that's actually going to be helping me, which I very much appreciate. There's a bit of an escort. Alright, so we've reached the waypoint, and now this is when it becomes a lot more, well, I would say a lot more interesting in terms of the interactivity that we're going to have with the game, because obviously I've been explaining a bunch of things. Anyway, we are going to be scanning this derelict and determining our next move from this. And that is going to give us, this. We have arrived at the location of an abandoned derelict. Enemy veteran is in the vicinity, so we can plan something to lure him here. This derelict is an old scientific vessel that has lots of useful technology parts we can use for an ambush, but there are limited quantities, so we need to make a single decision. So we have 4 choices here. Sending a distress call saying we are disabled after combat, but we will supercharge our weapons with electric parts from the derelict to disable their weapon batteries as soon as we hit them. Or, there are some explosive substances, so we can make mines and plant them all around the derelict. The derelict is showing anomalous signs indicating engine malfunctioning effects. We will rig it to explode, creating an anomaly in the process, and then fake the distress call. Or we can make a large EMP bomb and send the distress signal from the derelict. I think we're probably going to disable their weapon batteries, but supercharging our weapons sounds pretty good, so let's do that. Alright, so he's incoming. Let's do this. Fire at will, everyone. Let's kill him. If we can actually kill him, because he might... Is he actually firing at me? Are you serious? Come on now. That is not okay. Maybe I should have used the EMP bomb. That probably would have made more sense, because that does disable most of his systems and everything. But you can see here that we're able to do some pretty significant damage. Oh, the enemy's ships... Oh, there we go. Yes, the enemy ship's weapons have been disabled. Ah, he's receiving reinforcements as well. What a scallywag he is. Well, at the very least, we do have our railguns doing their jobs. Maybe I shouldn't have upgraded this too much, because when you have such powerful weapons, your energy does tend to deplete very, very quickly. But it does so much damage. Can you really say no to that much damage? Probably not. But there you go. We did it. Freelance mission has been completed. We earned 569,000 credits plus 40. And in my opinion, that's fantastic. I mean, you can see exactly how much damage I'm actually able to do with my precision shot as well. We're doing like 50% damage to these small ships that came in to reinforce. And that to me is invaluable. It's really, really nice because you can use it from such a far distance as well. It literally has a range of 4,400, which is crazy. I think that's actually a longer range than the best railguns. I think the best railguns have a range of about 4,000 or something like that. Maybe I'm getting a bit mixed up, but yeah, pretty awesome. All right, so I have a bunch of civilian fleets available, so we're gonna just continue to send them around the place. Oh yeah, I didn't even touch upon the construction things that you can actually do here too. So usually when you're first starting off a default sort of base game of Starpoint Gemini Warlords, you don't have any of this. This is all far in the future, unless you start with that, you know, unless you choose to start with that with a particular scenario. But you need to upgrade these. So you can see here that we've upgraded that. We can technically upgrade that, but I don't have enough mining. I can upgrade this though. Let's upgrade this. There we go. Now we can also upgrade the salvage depot if we so desire. And, well, there's a bunch of other things here that we don't have the resources for, but you can see how many things there are actually there to upgrade. And we're going to be adding this to the queue here as well, because apparently this got destroyed. Did that get destroyed? That's a bit sad. Now let's have a look here. How are our... Oh, there we go. The hyperspace torrent gate is 48% done, so I suppose that's okay. But yeah, anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go and head over here, around here at the very least. Well, I should probably use the T drive, shouldn't I? Let's use the T drive and see what I can do. Okay, so we're going to go around here. Ooh, oh, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, they actually added a new graphic for that. That's pretty cool. Because, yeah, I don't usually have a lot of time to play such large content games like this, so yeah, when new things are added, I'm just very excited about that. Okay, so let's have a look here. This space station is going to be extremely well defended, and I'm a bit worried about it. You can see here it has an approximate fleet power of 13,000. But if we are able to capture it, then we will be in a much better position. You can, of course, send an ambassador, but the ambassador is not really going to work in this case, because these guys right here really hate us quite a lot. You know what? I'm going to do? I'm literally just going to wait for our elites to catch up, and then I'm going to go into the next region, and we'll see whether we actually do attack that space station as a wonderful finale to the episode. Alright, so we have now entered a hostile region, and as you can see, we're going to need to go to these relay satellites, because just going into the region is not going to make any difference. You need to uncover the area by scanning, and so that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and get these guys to come and help us, and what are we're being attacked? We're being attacked by what? What am I being attacked? Oh wow, we're being attacked by a destroyer class. Well, this is maybe not going to work out too well, actually. I am not entirely sure if we'll be able to do this, but maybe we should try it. Shall we try it? Oh, it seems like they just left me alone. Well, I'm not going to leave them alone. We do have some allies here, as far as I'm aware. So I guess I'm going to try and do a little bit of damage to these guys and see if we can maybe gain some nice experience in the process. You can see here that we're taking him down pretty quickly. I mean, he is being focused, I think, by someone else as well, so do bear that in mind. There we go. Oh yes, fantastic. Alright, so let's have a look here. I should probably continue to go to the relay that I wanted to. And that guy's down as well. Fantastic. Alright, so let's continue to go that way. I mean, I could technically go over to the gas collector and raid that structure, but I'm not entirely sure. Now that we know at least that the faction in this area is not necessarily the most powerful, we should have a pretty decent time of things, but, well, we don't really know just yet. Maybe it's not going to work out so well. Insufficient resources. Oh well, fantastic. Okay, so yes, it seems like my ship has actually... Well, my fleet has finally caught up with me, and now I will be able to scan this relay satellite like I wanted to do. And let's see if I can actually do that right now. What is that? Do you see that? I think that is actually a destroyer, or no, it's a dreadnought. That is literally a dreadnought right there, and a cruiser. You could... Okay, so just take a quick look here. Do you see how big my ship is? And do you see how big that ship is? It is crazy big. Crazy big. So, yeah. If you have one of those, you are pretty much safe as a house. Unless you are against a... well, wrecking ball of some kind. That's probably going to make a difference, but yes, otherwise that is pretty fantastic. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to continue to deal some damage to these guys. They really don't have anything on us because, again, I'm running around with a fleet power of such a huge amount that it is, well, a foregone conclusion that I think we will achieve victory against such a small fleet. But that is okay. That is absolutely fine. Oh, there's a freight liner down here. Ah, well, we probably want to do something to this. We don't want them escaping, do we? With much needed supplies. So let's go down there and take them out. We're going to fire the warhead so you can actually see what it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Fiery death and destruction, and it removed all the guys' shields. Now, these guys do tend to have really, really good shields, so that's why it doesn't really seem like it did that much damage, but removing all of the shields is a really, really big deal, so obviously that's going to make a big difference. Obviously, if you do take into account that that missile is also having a huge area of effect, so it can still... I mean, it does, like... Well, let's have a look here. It does a maximum damage of 4,500 the longer it flies. So if you fire away from the maximum range of 5,200, then it's going to deal 4,500 maximum damage. Obviously, if you fire at point blank range, it's not going to deal that much damage, but it does have an AoE effect of 2,200 range. So you can imagine firing that into a group of gunships or a group of very, very kind of weakened ships, then you're going to have a pretty easy time of things. Anyway, let's take a look here. Attack this station. 13,000. Shall we try and take this space station? Let's try and take the space station. Let's do this. I mean, I think we pretty much have a fleet that is capable of doing that, but I'm just a bit worried about it. You can see here, look, Oh wow, okay, our name is the Terra Space Force at the moment, and our fleet power is 25,000. And bear in mind that I can continue, if I want to, improving my command point limit. At the moment I have a command point limit of 18,000. You can increase that by doing certain things. So if you want to, you can do that. Alright, so are we being fired upon? Yeah, we're being fired upon by something, but what is it? Just a bunch of randoms by the looks of things. How dare they do such a thing? Oh well, never mind. I'm going to deal with these guys and I'll meet you at the space station when we arrive. Alright, so as you can see, we've entered battle and I think we are pretty close to the space station, so we're basically attacking the escort for the space station and the bodyguards for that station. So if we're able to do this, we'll be able to capture this territory and hopefully be able to prevent it from falling back into, well, basically enemy hands. So that would be pretty cool. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do that. I mean, these guys do actually have a couple of destroyers as far as I'm aware. Yeah, they do, but obviously I'm playing a destroyer right now, and well, I think I'm kind of outmatched by some of the enemies. So hopefully my crew... Did you see that? They literally just melted. And this is the point. I feel like it's really smart to place these kinds of ships in your initial starting fleet, because you get to see just how insane they are. Like, really, really powerful. And then you're like, I want that. I want that. So then you kind of get a bit of a goal in a free roam game, with the exception of obviously doing the quests and the various bounties and, you know, interacting with other factions and things like that. Now, I've also noticed that there has been a small change since I last played, and that was the energy. Thank you very much for bumping into me. I don't know why they did that, but anyway, there has been a small change to the energy regeneration. Because when I used to play, the energy regeneration was pretty slow. I mean, you know, it was fast enough, but it was pretty slow in the grand scheme of things, because obviously, you know, you don't want to be firing hugely powerful rail guns and beam weapons at the beginning, you know? So obviously it scales dependent on what kind of ship you have. But it seems to me like the energy regenerates a lot faster. I'm gonna shoot this. Oh yeah, watch this, watch this. Okay. Did it do stuff? Ah, I think I may have selected one of the gunships on the outside of the group. Ah, well that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Ah, well, never mind. We are winning this pretty convincingly, I think, but I am taking a little bit of damage to my left shields here. Yeah, port, starboard, I'm not very familiar with that kind of thing, so I'm just going to say left. Yes, what a simpleton. Alright, so let me see if I can I do some damage to this? I have a bad feeling that I probably won't be able to do some damage to it, so I'm probably just going to wait until my forces are done fighting these guys, and I'm going to try and help them out, obviously. We can, of course, collect the loot too. That's the cool thing about having a destroyer as well. Your cargo is just absolutely insane. The capacity, the amount of loot you're able to take. It's pretty awesome. Oh, wow, that was quick. Alright, so let's see. Anyone else around here? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a cruiser. That's one of the Hexen's cruisers. That is pretty crazy. Do you see how much damage that thing is taking? It's literally taking a pounding from two of our cruisers, and I think it's also, well, it's melting now, but it was taking a lot of damage. And there you go. There's our weekly income as well, by the way. We are collecting our taxes from the various places, and we are now going to be dealing some damage to the actual space station itself. And so let's see if I can actually go over here. Do I actually even need to do that? Maybe I do need to take out some of the platforms, because these platforms are obviously, well, they're not necessarily good to keep alive. You know, they're going to continually do damage to you and everything, so maybe we're going to be able to... Whoa, literally? I was able to kill it that quickly? Alright. Well, we seem to actually be doing a lot of damage there. Okay, well that's perfectly fine with me. I am taking a little bit of damage in return, though. Okay, I gotta be a bit careful here. There we go. There's another one of their shields down. And maybe I can actually... Can I stage a boarding party? I don't think I can do that, actually. I can hail them, and I can't transport personnel or anything like that. I can hail them. Do I want to hail them? Let's see what they have to say. I just need to talk to you. Alright, so maybe we can make a deal. I can tell you right away that the higher-ups won't approve. Your kind is not very liked where I come from. Reputation too low. Of course it is. Of course it is. Oh, well, never mind. But you can see there that there's potential for diplomacy. There is potential for that. So if you did not go to war against these guys, like I did, then, you know, there is a possibility for you to make a deal with them and maybe, you know, negotiate some kind of peace. So you don't necessarily have to play as the as the warlord, you know. You can play as a little bit of a diplomat. And I'm just going to try and take out all of these things. I don't know what my fleet is doing right now. Alright, so we're pushing the bar closer and closer. Basically what we need to do is just kill all of these platforms, kill all the shield generators, and as we do that, the bar goes further and further in our favor, and eventually we will have this done. Rumors speak of an unknown group being pleased with our actions. Ah, well there you go. So we're also making some allies without even realizing it. That's pretty awesome. And I think we have one more to go. There it is. There we are, zone captured. And as you can see, look at the amount of experience. I just gained 2 levels, and all of our ships also gained level ups, and they gain perks as well. So yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Alright, so yes, now we can go over here, we can sell all of our loot. And we have some perk points and skill points to spend. I'm not going to do that right now. And then of course you can go into the dry dock and do all of whatever you need to do, so you can customize your ship even further and all kinds of wonderful things like that. So now you can see we have expanded our territory, and if you want, you can actually go and do more of that and, well, just have a good old grand fun time in Starpoint Gemini. And just a small reminder that the game is currently on a heavy discount on Steam with all of the DLC, with the exception of the Rise of Numibia. And you can check that out in the link in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.